Sometimes, the cheapest deal can cost you the most. This is the story of a young woman named Emily, who was simply searching for a place to live. But she didn't know that the building she was about to enter already had a tenant, and that tenant wasn't human. It was raining heavily the night Emily moved in. Dark clouds covered the sky as she dragged her heavy suitcase up the cracked and leaking stairs of an old apartment building. The place looked abandoned, peeling paint, water dripping from the ceiling, flickering light bulbs that hummed above her head. The deeper she went inside, the stronger the feeling grew, that someone was watching her. On the second floor, she paused. For a brief moment, she thought she saw a shadow standing at the bottom of the staircase, staring up at her. But when she blinked, there was nothing, only darkness. Shaking off the thought, she reached her new apartment door. It creaked open slowly, as if by itself. Her new roommate, Claire, was already standing there, smiling politely. But something about her smile didn't feel right. Something about it didn't feel human. The first night passed quietly, but on the second night, at exactly 3:14 in the morning, Emily awoke to a sound. At first it was faint, almost like breathing. Then came whispers. They weren't coming from the hallway. They were coming from inside the walls. Terrified, she pressed her ear against the plaster. The wall was warm, like someone was breathing just behind it. Then she heard it, a woman's laugh. Soft at first, but growing louder, closer, until it felt like someone was right there with her. The next morning, she asked Claire about it. Claire's face remained calm. Her lips stretched into that same long, unnatural smile. "Oh," she said softly, "the building makes sounds at night. You'll get used to it." Days passed, and then one evening, Emily came home earlier than usual. The apartment was quiet, dark, except for one room. Claire's door was half open. A red glow flickered inside, not from a lamp, but from candles. Emily hesitated, then stepped closer. And what she saw made her blood run cold. The walls were covered with photographs, hundreds of them. Every single one was of her, Emily. Some from years ago, before she even moved to the city. Some from last week. And one had been taken just yesterday. Her hands shook, her throat tightened. Then slowly, Claire turned her head. Her eyes were bloodshot, wide, unblinking. Her pale face stretched into a monstrous smile. And in a broken whisper, she said, "You weren't supposed to see this. The others never did." Suddenly, the lights flickered violently. The whispers inside the walls rose again, louder this time, chanting her name. Emily rushed to the door, but it slammed shut with a deafening bang. The walls around her began to twist and bulge. Hands pressed out from the plaster, reaching for her. Dozens of faces emerged, their hollow eyes staring, their mouths whispering in unison. Emily screamed as shadows closed in. And then, silence. She was never seen again. But they say, if you ever move into a cheap apartment, listen carefully at night. If you hear whispers behind the walls, you might already have a roommate. This was the very first video in our 4-minute horror story series. If you also want to hear a short, chilling story before going to bed every night, then you know what to do. Hit subscribe and don't forget to like this video. Because if you don't, the next story might just be about you.